Movie about a Freemason's journey to enlightenment. So what kicks off Truman's journey to enlightenment? The falling canister from the ceiling, labeled Sirius. Sirius is known as the morning star, the fallen angel, Lucifer the light bringer, who brings knowledge to humanity. Represented by the blazing star, in Freemasonry sat between the two pillars of Jachin and Boaz. In this shot, we see the fallen star Sirius between two pillars. That grabs Truman's attention, the two pillars being Jachin and Boaz. So Truman essentially receives esoteric knowledge from Sirius and begins to question his reality. We see that every outcome of Truman's life is being governed by what some might call an overbearing father, or the Gnostic demiurge, which in this case is given the name of Christoph, or Christ of, or of Christ. When Truman finally breaks free of this controlling deity, he ascends up the Masonic steps towards self-governance. Here we can see 16 steps, as well as the waters below, as above so below, with what we can assume is the reflection of the waters below. That would total 32 steps, or 32 degrees of Scottish Rite Freemasonry. Obviously the 33rd degree being the most notable, however this is a more symbolic, honorary, invite-only degree. No initiate can get there through just Masonic scholarship. It is the Gnostic perspective that the material world is a trap, an illusion, a prison of sorts, governed and controlled by a lower creator, a more malevolent version of the God archetype, or grand architect. And that to escape this material illusion, one must break free through enlightenment and self-gnosis. Some say the G in Masonry stands for Gnosis or Gnosticism. However, that's one of many interpretations that include Grand Architect, Generative Principle, Jesu or Jesuit General, God, Goat, Geometry, and others. And so Truman undergoes this journey of Gnostic enlightenment and breaks free of his controlling father. Also, someone interesting that Richard Rothschild was one of the producers of this film.
So Golgotha during the time of Jesus was outside the city walls. Going this way right here, partway down, was a garden gate that went outside the city. So this area over here was actually outside the city during the time of Jesus. So then we're going to walk up here and check it out because it's so important to see. But up here a ways is the gate that probably Christ went through on the Via Dolorosa, we believe is the most biblical, that starts by Pilate's palace where Herod's palace was, going to the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. So we're going to walk partway down here and we're going to see approximately where this gate would be. So you would go through this gate, it was called the Geneth Gate, which means garden, and you would go through that, and then out where Golgotha was at one point in time, it was a quarry, but it was turned into a garden. But it was a place where people would be crucified. It was called the place of the skull. So it was a place that was really prominent where crucifixions would take place. And the Romans would always crucify people in the most visible places because they wanted to instill the fear of Rome in their subjects.
I think our top 1% have been to some extent possessed by the devil. Okay, and let's just leave it at that. Possessed by whom, by how, I don't care. They've been possessed, they are evil. So then you have the Rothschilds, you have the Queen of England, the core of the British Empire, represented by MI6 and others who will do anything at all to further the empire. There's a lot of people that believe that the Americans did not win the War of Independence. In fact, the British just went underground with Freemasons and Knights of Malta and other secret societies. There's actually a wonderful book called Caesar's Messiah, which makes the case that the Catholic Church was created by Caesar as a psychological operation to basically get everybody to turn the other cheek and render under Caesar that which is Caesar's. But I've come to believe that all religions that seek to become intermediaries between people and God are fake. They're basically pyramid schemes. They're Ponzi schemes. They're a way of collecting lots of money for a very few that live in glorious luxury. And one of the things that concerns me is how many of our evangelical and Pentecostalists are addicted to cocaine and are gay. We've got some real worms in this out. Many of them have been bribed by the Zionists. What they don't understand is that true Zionism makes Christianity illegal.
Is a pedophile. Oh, I'm not going to talk about Tom Hanks either, who is also a pedophile. There's this girl, Sarah Ruth Ashcraft, on Twitter, who has been accusing Tom Hanks of raping her when she was 13. Her dad sold her to Tom Hanks. This is so rampant. It is so bad. But watch for the symbolism, because These people out themselves with the symbols. The very top levels, these people are just sick and psycho. Look into the Rothschild family. You heard it's cannibals. Yeah, there is cannibalism. The higher you go, the more sick it gets. A lot of people are kind of born into this. They grow up in it. They are abused. And through the abuse, especially as a child, you can break someone's subconscious mind. Look into MK Ultra. It's music, it's film, it's art. Look into Marina Abramovich. Is Oprah a pedophile? Well, let's see. Hanks, Weinstein, I mean, the company she keeps, as rich as she is, I have a feeling she is very high up in the cult. And this, make no mistake, this is a cult. There is a widespread cult that is worldwide, and it's fucking bad.
Okay, so Iran will be involved. But these are the small players, but the main players are Russia and China. The end battle will be between two superpowers, East and West. What is West? America and Great Britain. East, China and Russia. These are the two superpowers will flex their muscles in what is called Armageddon. In the Middle East, they will show what powers they have and what wisdom they have achieved and what technology they have reached and what it's going to be, the knowledge of humanity, which is the destruction of humanity. They will wipe this planet nice and neat. They'll burn it. But who's burning it at the end? The Lord Jesus. Why? Because humanity have filled the world with filthiness, fornication, abomination. The Lord will clean it with fire. He cleansed it in the beginning with water, the great flood, and in the end He will cleanse it with fire, my beloveds.